Good morning class. Today we are going to study about chapter number 4 agriculture. This is the third lecture of chapter agriculture. In the first two chapters we had discussed about the agriculture, what is the importance of agriculture, types of farming, what are the major crops, what are the requirements of temperature and rainfall, the different cropping seasons. Now here we have the next fiber crop, that is cotton. India is the home of cotton production and stands second in the production of China. Means China is the first producer of cotton. On the second position comes India. It's grown on the drier part of Deccan Plateau. Drier part means very less rainfall. It requires high temperature and light rainfall. Means it requires light rainfall and it requires a high temperature. It is a kharif crop and needs 210 frost-free days or 6 to 8 months to mature. Means it requires 6 to 8 months to mature to grow properly. Maharashtra, Gujarat, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Punjab, Haryana and UP are the major cotton producing states. So these are the states which produce the cotton. Then we come to the next fiber crop, that is jute. Jute is also known as golden fiber. It grows in well-drained fertile soil in plain region. Means it requires a fertile soil and it requires well-drained region. The region where there is a well-drainage system or where is fertile soil. It needs high temperature. West Bengal, Bihar, Assam, Orissa and Meghalaya are the major jute producing states. Due to its high cost, it is losing market to synthetic fibers and packing materials, particularly the nylon. Because jute is the cost of jute is very high. So instead of using jute, people started using synthetic fibers and mainly they are using nylon. Then here we have completed by the major crops. Now there is technological and institutional reforms for the land. Technological and institutional means in the use of techniques and what institutions were made for the land reforms. First we have land reforms, that is abolishing zamindari. Now if we are speaking about zamindari, we have revived that there was a permanent settlement which was made by Lord Cornwallis in 1793, where what the problem arose, that there was first British government under which zamindars and last the peasants. Means the British government with the zamindars, they were suppressing the peasants, and this was also known as zamindari system or permanent settlement. Second is land distribution. Land distribution means distributing the land equally to among all of them. Third we have land ceiling. Land ceiling means making reforms on the land, using the making proper use of land and using land in the best way. Now in technological reforms, firstly we have green revolution. Green revolution we have studied in the previous classes also, that green revolution was done, and in this HYV seeds, that is high yielding variety seeds, were used. Modern equipments, irrigation facilities, fertilizers and pesticides, all these requirements were done for green revolution, that there was irrigation facilities also, there were fertilizers, pesticides and there were modern techniques also used. Then white revolution, quality breeds of cattle supplementary to agriculture, means supplement to agriculture, quality cattle rearing. Okay, the quality breeds of cattle was also made for, in this was white revolution. Now if I think about technological and institutional revolution or reforms, we are going to also study that there was some Bhudan and Gramdan movement which was done by Vinoba Bhave, which was a spiritual heir of Mahatma Gandhi, means which he was working on the path of Mahatma Gandhi. Now Vinoba Bhave, he had the ideas of Gram Swarajya, and for this he also did a Padyatra. Now in this Bhudan and Gramdan movement, what was done? It was a bloodless revolution, means there was no bloodshed, but the people who were in the higher caste or who had much land, they distributed their land to the landless villagers. And there were many zamindars also who gave their land to the landless villagers. There were zamindars which gave the 80 acres of land to these landless villagers. So it is also known as a bloodless revolution, because there was no bloodshed, and just because of the permission of these zamindars, these land were distributed to the landless villagers, those villagers who did not have land of its own. Now when we have firstly discussed the technological and institutional reforms, we come to institutional reforms. There was opening of banks and cooperatives. Banks and cooperatives for those people who were poor, who could not go to banks of higher interest. Okay. Then there were KCC and personal accidental insurance, Kisal Credit Company. And we had MSP also, minimum support price. These all were for the benefits of the minorities, for the poor people. Opening of agricultural colleges and universities. To promote agriculture, colleges and universities related to agriculture were also opened. Using radio, TVs and satellites for agriculture education means to impart more and more education on agriculture. TV was used, radios, satellites, all these were used. Agriculture Research Center was also opened to promote agriculture in a better way. Then what was the problem here, that why farmers were withdrawing the investment? Now what was the problem with the farmers? Farmers were first they were facing that international competition. Now international competition means the competition with the different countries. And why was it? Because there was reduction in duties, reduction in taxes. This increased the international competition. Second was uncertainty of production, means there was production but sometime in a major way and sometime in a minor way, sometime more, sometime less. So there was no certainty of production. And thirdly, we had reduction in subsidy. The subsidy which was given to the people was reduced to an extent. There was some problem, that was impact of globalization on agriculture also. The globalization has infected or impacted, it had a long impact on agriculture. Thank you.